on YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show. The Commerce Show with Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show. The Commerce Show with Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show.
Yes, hello, Edo people and Nigerians across the world. I want to welcome you especially to this edition of the Comrade Show, but this segment is the one we call the Comrade and Friends. It is my honor and privilege to quickly introduce the man who is going to anchor to this program. It's not other but the man you already know, Dr. Tony Agbons. But for the sake of this program, always remember, he is Comrade Dr. Tony Agbons. Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lamte Ikpomusa Oriahi. It's good to be here again this Sunday. Our viewers all over the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are watching the Comrade and Friends today. We welcome all of you to this program, which our comrade pharmacist, Austin Iremina, has nicknamed the Sunday Tonic. You are all very much welcome. So before we go into the details of the program, I just want to encourage every one of you that are watching us right now, please share the broadcast, share the broadcast either on YouTube or on our Facebook channel so that we all be on board. So I want to quickly introduce my co-panelists, regular anchor and musketeer on this program, our brother Austin Iremina. Please say hello to our people.
My people. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever they watch us from. It's always a pleasure to be here. I want to thank my brother today, our comrade Dr. Tony Agbonserife, where they anchor our program today, and also our CNC, Comrade Lamte Ikpomusa Oriahi. This is our Sunday Tonic. It's always a pleasure for us to be here to talk about things affecting the Edo State and Nigeria, and how we move our country forward. It's always a pleasure. God bless you, my people. Remember to like and share.
Thank you very much, comrade pharmacist Agboje Augustine Iremira. Thank you so much. You are very much welcome, my brother. So, and I want our regular anchor, our comrade commander-in-chief, to also greet our people in the very language we all understand.
Thank you very much, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbons. Thank you so very much, my brother. Yes, my people, I greet you now. Thank you for joining us. Please, if you are joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, I beg, make you no fear. Just share, so that other people can join us and be part of this edition. And it's going to be a beautiful one. Thank you very much, Tony. Over to you, sir.
Lamte Ikpomusa Oriahi, for your regular greeting, in this local government to all our people. Thank you, my brother. So, like our brother Austin mentioned a while ago, today's program is going to be a very exciting one. So please share the broadcast, because we are in for a very fine season in Edo State. So we are really zeroing in on Edo State today. Next month, Edo State, like we all know, will be 30 years. And recently, the state government inaugurated a committee to oversee this 30-year celebration. The question on the lips of many Edo people has been, what are we celebrating? Why do we celebrate? People, I want to tell us that we have every reason to celebrate. Uh, yes, we may not be where we ought to be. We may not be where we want to be, but the state is going somewhere and we are moving and we are moving. So for that reason, we have every cause to celebrate our past, celebrate our present, and celebrate the building of our future as a state and as a people. So I really want to join us to follow the program today as we discuss this celebration. So my brother Austin, Edo State is 30. What comes to your mind?
Thank you so much, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbonsevaife, for that beautiful introduction and setting the template for our discussion. Edo at 30, so many things come to my mind. Like we said, or like I said in the last program, to be 30 years in the life of a man or a woman is absolutely epic. You would have grown from a child. If that person is educationally inclined, you would have at least had a first degree, maybe sometime moving to master's or even a PhD level. If that person is not academically inclined and is endowed in other areas, it would have made massive progress. So to trace that in the life of an human being and juxtapose it with a state, it is great, it is epic, it is worth celebrating. We may say or think that we haven't achieved so much, but like you said before, we have to give thanks for where we are, because to be where you are today is something massive. And we cannot look at Edo State without looking at democracy totally in Nigeria. We all know that we are not in the right place, but there is ray of hope that we will get there. So as Edolites everywhere, both in Nigeria, in Benin cities to be specific, and in other areas in Edo State, and even in the diaspora, we have every reason to celebrate. Just because there is hope for tomorrow and we can make a change. And that change must start now. I'm so happy that the government has taken this in its stride and they are happy rolling the drums to celebrate this. I must thank yourself and Comrade Lamte. You guys have been on this matter. You've been on the Zoom presentation for the last 2 hours. Without resting, we say the show must go on again so that we can talk to our comrade viewers about it. That is all. That is what it is. It has to be celebrated. We also informed in that Zoom meeting that the governor is rolling out about 30 projects to mark this epic year in the life of all Edolites. And for our viewers, Edo State is made up of so much people. We are very industrious. We are very, very frugal in all we do, and we put energy into it. So all this put together gives me hope, joy, that Edo State, like somebody said, is already great, will even be even greater and massive in everything. There is everything to celebrate. It reminds me of my primary school. It reminds me of my secondary school. It reminds me of Igwe Festival. It reminds me of great Ubemudia. It reminds me of many of our leaders, both alive and living. The celebration reminds me of everything so unique, and above all, my childhood. So we have to celebrate. Certainly we must. Hopefully we are celebrating, and joy must come, and we are marching on.
Thank you, my brother, comrade, pharmacist Austin Agboje Iremira, for your deposition. To be where we are is worth celebrating. That's a big one. Comrade Lamte, what do you chip in, my brother?
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. We've come this far, and we're going further. Honestly, there's a lot worth celebrating. There are so many positives, and one of them is that as a people, we are growing and getting better. As a people, better governance is being entrenched. as a people, a lot of Edo people across the world are excelling. Many are gaining, huge, experiences abroad, contributing, to development in other nations, and coming home to come and contribute, the experience they've gathered in different places in Edo State. So, and as a people, we are giving birth to children that are growing in the diaspora, many of whom are beginning to get, trace their roots back home. Many of whom are beginning to, make positive contributions towards the development of the home front. But by and large, looking at the celebration as a celebration, personally, I think that it should be one that, would be a sober reflection, sort of, wherein we are able to look at where we are coming from since 1991 when Edo State was created. Before 1991, we had Bender State. Before Bender State, we had the Midwestern State. So we have actually, come a very, very long way, in this, Nigeria that we are in right now. So looking at it now, I think it's essential we start taking stock. We thank God that we have a governor in place who is setting a very huge template, for the state to advance. All we can do is to key ourselves into those areas where we can make contributions to support what government is already doing, support the people of Edo State, so that Edo State can actually, rise to become to that level, that we dream it would be. If not for this generation, at least for the next generation or the one after. That would be
Thank
my
you.
my brother.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lamte Ikpemusa. You have gone down memory lane there, taking our minds back to the Midwest states when it was created in 1963, and then Bender State, which was created by in 1976, and then now Edo State, when Bender was split into two to have Delta and Edo, 1991. And come August 27, it will be exactly 30 years. Now, Comrade Iremira, in 1991, I think all three of us who would have been really, really young in 1991 were very young then. And I still remember that we had Governor Odige Oyegun, ex-executive governor of Edo State at the beginning. So when you look at that strand from Governor John Odige Oyegun down now to Governor Baseki, so how will you describe our political evolution since that time? How will you assess that?
Edo State, as it is now, looking at our political evolution from 1991, I would say it's not been very different from the Nigeria political discourse. It's not been different in the sense that it's not been a smooth sail. I remember in 1991 when Governor Odige Oyegun was elected as governor of the state. Just before he settled, I think about 1 or 2 years after, there was a military issue, I think, and that affected progress again until we return back again to democracy at the tail end of the 90s, coming to the early 2001. So it hasn't really been a smooth sail. And like we all know, democracy is evolving and it's been a learning process. So after Lucky Benedion becoming governor of Edo State, democracy started along that line, and we had, I think, the man from Isham, Professor Osumbo, who stayed for about 1 year, and we had Comrade Oshomole, who did his 8 years, and now Governor Obaseki. So if we put all together, it's going to just under 20 years. There have been an incremental advantages in terms of politics. but the mindset of our people is still evolving. And remember, our politics that we started playing has always been the politics of some form of godfatherism, some form of nepotism, some form of man no man, and those are not good indices for growth. So that has hindered, in some sort, the political advancement. But it's changing. It's not changing because the politicians want it. It's changing because the people are yearning for it, and technology is coming into being. Of course, that's why some of us supported and key into the Obaseki-led administration, given the fact that his first 4 years was politics as usual. But now it's changing, and I believe going forward, subsequently, there will even be more changes. So to answer the question rightly, I would say it's not been a smooth sail politically. We've been evolving, we've been changing. There's been some setback, but I think we are certainly moving forward with the advent of technology. That has really changed the mindset of so many people. Not all the politicians just yet, but I believe in few years to come, it will. Because if anything happens in one place now, because of technology, information is quickly and readily passed on, and people are able to sort of catch on that to act fast. The only problem at the moment is that what kind of news is this? Is it a negative news or a fake news? But I believe as time goes by, people will come to that reality and this will be watered down. I'll give you an example. I think it was 2 weeks ago, somebody in Akoko Edo did a video of a purported bad work that was done by in a construction site. I don't know the company now, but apparently it was a constituency project by one of our House of Rep. And as soon as that came into limelight, although many people thought it was the governor's project, but it gave the government and the people the opportunity to catch up on that. And I think that has now been rectified. So going forward, I think politics will change, and it will change certainly for good. But from 1991 to now, it's not been a smooth sail. There's been a bit of up and down, but we are gradually getting there.
My brother, Comrade Lamte Oriahi, we were in a radio broadcast not too long ago. It was also, televised via Zoom, and I know you did make a statement that touched me in that program, that this is a time indeed for sober reflection, and you also talked about our value system in your speech over there. And now the pharmacist has also mentioned it. He has said that the mindset of the people is still evolving. So, Comrade Lamte, juxtaposing these two together and going forward, because governance is all about government and the governed. So how do we strike a balance in achieving or making our state greater?
Thank you very much, my brother, Dr. Tony Agbons. To be very honest, government must prove to the people that she's responsible. We've talked about Obaseki setting a template, okay, which is a good thing. Now, the template must not be, about the institutions of government alone. It must be about a holistic overhaul of all institutions, whether governmental institutions or the people themselves, because the people themselves, they are institutions, a huge institution themselves. Now, why do I say this? Government is doing a lot right now to reform the civil service, which is beautiful. Now, that reform needs to go beyond the civil service to the mindset of the ordinary Edo man. For instance, I am not comfortable, I'm sure you are not yourself, that we now have, a generation of young people whose aspiration is to make money at all costs, whose aspiration is to become billionaires even when they don't work for it, whose aspiration is desperation. Some, we've seen cases of people being reported to have killed their mother and their father using desperate means. Now, that is not good. Now, while we condemn that, we look at what is trickling down. Just a few days ago, some videos surfaced of somebody like Apostle Suleiman, who preached about miracle money, praying and asking people to check their bank account and see an alert. Now, all of such kind of things coming from leaders. This is a religious leader now. It's not inspiring. The other day, I didn't make any video concerning this because I don't want it to be misinterpreted. But I did find it really, nauseating. There was a lot of mention. In fact, they practically took over the entire, social media space, talking of the Obi Cubanas and what they did with money. Now the question is this: is Obi Cubana the richest man in Nigeria, or is he even the richest man in Anambra State? Now they did a lot of parade with money, a lot of things with money. At the end of the day, they are being hailed from left, right, side, corner. But between the day of the exhibition and now, I have received at least 3 calls from young people who I mentor, I support them. You understand what I'm saying now? In Edo State, okay? Having now even a higher desperation to make money. Now, to what extent these young men would go, I'm guiding them to ensure that, look, making money, okay, has to pass through processes of hard work and all of that. But those kind of exhibition exhibited by people who already have made some money, it is in no way helpful to society. No matter how much we praise, because at the end of the day, what the young people now think of is how to make money and come and exaggerate like this, and come and be flamboyant like this, and come and oppress everybody around them like this. And these philosophies are philosophies that government instruments, can help to checkmate in a way that our society will be a more responsible and a more responsive society. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have a good society, we cannot have a good government. And if we manage to skew out somebody as a leader of government who has good intentions, okay, it therefore means that we need to support this somebody to ensure, even if we don't build skyscrapers in the next 10 years, but let us build a political culture that will impact positively on the people, okay? And that's the only area where I agree that time was when Edo was great. It was a time where the value system was such that was good, okay? And that same value system that some of our, parents had, okay, is such that, they imparted in some of us that is still leading us till today. But today, all of that is gone. And so if Edo must be great, we must get back to those glorious days where respect for the other was very important, where respect for elders and parents was very important, where respect for those who are older than you were very, very important, where respect for the boundaries of others was very important, and so many other things and all of that have to do with our value system. If we don't get that right, bro, that will be a problem. And I think that government can do a lot to making us get that right. And that means, ensuring that we're able to establish enabling laws to make sure that we cut away all the excesses of, all those kind of things that, come out very unguided to make everybody just look one way and look like no other way exists. I think if we're able to get that right, then society is better for it. I think this 30-year celebration of Edo State should look seriously into those aspects where we can really engage our youth in a way that will be building, a future generation of people who are responsive, who know what it means to be a human being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Lamte Ikmomosa Oriahi, for your very wonderful and well-captured presentation on how we can redefine our mindset and recapture the values for which we must hold on to. To be honest, just like you said, and I can relate to that, growing up in Benin City, New Benin area to be precise, we all know that the Edo people, not just in Benin City, now I go to Afemai, Auchi, Gara, Koko Edo area, Ekpoma in Esan Central and all the rest. We are a people, very, very much steep in culture and tradition and royalty. And that is why the average Edo man or woman will go around with an air of pride. Some people from other parts of Nigeria call it arrogance, but we don't see it as arrogance, but we carry ourselves with so much air. We carry ourselves with so much dignity around. So looking at how we lost all those values and looking at where we are now, 30 years on, from Midwest to Bende and to today, we now have another group of Edolites, Edo sons and daughters who are in the diaspora, the constituency which some of us belong to now. Comrade Pharmacist Austin, Edo diaspora. How and what do you see them do in this new Edo, this future that we are all aspiring to build?
Thank you so much, my brother, Dr. Tony Agbons, for that beautiful question. Having established that there is need for us to celebrate, having established too that it's good for us to look at our past, where we are, and how we get there. I think the next question in this issue of our celebration is how do we get there? And you've just pinpointed a very pivotal set of people or group, which indeed is the diaspora. I think we are uniquely positioned at this time to set the tone and recalibrate activities in our state, just for two reasons. Majority of us grew up in the state. Those qualities, those things that were so important that have been instilled in us by our parents, which is the first family, by our school, and by our institution, is still there. You see it sometimes burning. Tony, just before I go further, I give you an instance. I grew up in the New Benin, Ikobai area. I didn't know something I want to mention now. I remember as a young child, I used to aspire to be a member of the Royal Ambassador. I used to hear them. I used to see what they do. They organize Christmas carol and other activities. It was some few weeks ago we were talking, and you told me that you were a member of the Royal Ambassador. You were once a member. Then it recurred to me to say, oh, probably this is where this gentleman got those good qualities up, because we were molded. So that quality is in us. And some of us have also went to other areas where we got that. And now we are in the diaspora. Fortunately, we are not under the whims and caprices of anybody. That's not to say we open our mouth to say what we like. No. But we now know enough. We are able to express ourselves and to set a new tone. So when you put those two things together, it puts us in a very, very unique position. During the course of the Zoom meeting, two young ladies spoke. They've never lived in Benin City. They weren't born there. But they were born by parents who once lived in the city. And I could see their passion, their enthusiasm, which means this has been carried to them by their parents, and they have become very formidable. If we must grow and change our narrative, the diaspora is in a better position. So to answer your question squarely, yes, we are. My appeal to all diasporans, let us not forget where we are coming from. Let us come together with all the force we have now to re-energize, to reinform, and to help, just like we did during the election for Obaseki, to begin to tell our words back home that Edo was once like this. Let us go back. We will even be better. Lamte adduced to something. There are no longer mentors. I remember growing up in Benin. I wanted to be a petroleum engineer for just one reason. I was attending a lesson in Yoga Hill, and that young man was a final year student of Petroleum Engineering University of Lagos. Whenever he comes to teach us physics, I love his swag. I love the way he carried himself. He was mentoring many of us. That has long gone, eroding fast. So it is very important that we that once enjoyed this beauty should not forget it. We've savored it. Let us now carry it to our children here, and also to remind the youth that Edo State was once great, it can still be great again. So the diaspora is uniquely positioned, and I think we have taken our place in the right moment. There's a massive group at the moment drumming support, going above board, having meetings all through the night to make this celebration a great one. And that is just a very good point. My appeal to the government, both now and the future, is that they should recognize that there is a power out there and we are waiting in the wings to key in and change the narrative. Also, in the course of this discussion, somebody made a point which I've been thinking, that we need to have a diaspora bank, a diaspora bank, because we churn up huge amount of money to develop our state, but sometimes they go to the wrong place. So the diaspora must come together, the government must recognize us, and I think we are just really happy to change the tone. To answer your question again perfectly, the diaspora is a huge aspect if Edo State and indeed Nigeria must move forward.
Very, very much, Comrade Pharmacist Iremira, for your fantastic, speech. I will be coming to you now, my brother, Comrade Oriahi. The diaspora is a formidable group. And I want to say this for the sake of those who are watching us on YouTube and on our handle on Facebook. When we're talking about the diaspora, we're talking about any Edo person, man or woman, who is living outside the Edo State. If you are in Lagos, you are a diaspora. If you are in Enugu State, if you are in Abuja, you are a diaspora. If you are in UK, you are in diaspora. If you are in Spain. So looking at that, Comrade Oriahi, what will you say should be the critical role of this mass of Edolites who are residing all over the world, this global force? What is their role?
Of course, the role of the diaspora is in every strand, to be honest, whichever way you want to look at it from. The role of the diaspora must be harnessed to affect every aspect of our society, every aspect. But importantly, to support and complement the effort of government, and of course, to use what is available to the diaspora community to always hold government accountable. This is very important because I can tell you this of a fact that a lot of things happen around Nigeria, but because of the lack of infrastructure, the lack of the necessary enablement, there are people who live in Nigeria, they live in Edo State, they don't even know what is happening in Edo State. Some people in the diaspora know a lot more happening in government and around the state and the country than even those who live there. There are people who call on some of us to know what is happening even in Edo State and in Nigeria and all of that. And that the reason is simple, because if infrastructures are not there, at some point, some people may not even have lights to charge their phone. Even though they're able to charge their phone, some may not even have enough money to buy the data and all of that. So one of the primary things that the diaspora community must do is to support government, hold government accountable, and of course set a proper example. Now, holding government accountable, government must equally realize that Edo people in the diaspora, they are Edo people, which means that they have to be involved in the government process. And I'm glad that the government of Governor Obaseki has promised that they are going to involve the diaspora, community in the process of governance and all of that to ensure that the contribution of those in diaspora are well harnessed. Now, beyond that, I'm glad that the government is thinking towards this direction. Beyond that, the entire Edo diaspora community must be harnessed under one umbrella, under one vent, okay, to have a proper relationship with government. And I tell you this, do you know there are so many Edo people who are making huge contributions across the world? Some have companies, some want to come and invest even in Edo State, okay, but they lack proper information. Some have been making effort to reach the appropriate authorities in Edo State to see how they can advance, their business in Nigeria and bring their business home and stuff like that. They've been not able to reach the appropriate authority and all of that. So, but I am sure that by what government is already planning to establish some sort of a diaspora agency or commission, it will be an avenue wherein all the Edo diaspora community can be properly harnessed, so that everybody will be coming through one vent to make huge contributions to Edo State. Somebody in the course of our earlier Zoom meeting, informed and of course and advised that there's a need for us to have an Edo bank or Edo diaspora bank, wherein all the monies coming from Edos in the diaspora, can actually be coming through one particular bank, with necessary taxes and all contributions taken to help develop and push for a number of things. So when you look at it, there are so many ways. Now, I will give you one that is very informal. Informal, in that every year we have Edo people visiting Edo State. Now, the question I'm asked consistently is, how do we carry ourselves as Edo people? Because we in the diaspora, the Edos in diaspora, they equally need to be properly informed on how to carry themselves towards contributing towards our own moral values. You find an average Edo man traveling from Italy, America, or Japan or Canada, visiting Edo State. This person, who, for very many of us, we came from a very humble beginning, but some people get abroad, it becomes a different subject matter. They get home, they want to march on people's heads. They want people to lay their robe on the floor for them to walk and all of that. They don't want to identify with the other people on the ground. And these are things that we need to talk to ourselves about to change, because for every Edo man who is outside of Edo State, who is abroad, there are so many others looking up to this Edo man. Now, when this Edo man comes home, and this Edo man comes to everybody's level, and is able to inspire everybody to at least contribute to some sort of civic duty within their own neighborhood, that itself is setting a proper example to say, whether I go America, I go Canada, I am still whom I am. We are still together in this matter. Because the voice of the average Edo man who lives abroad matters so much to those they can influence, to those that they can inspire. And I would enjoin all Edo people in the diaspora to wear a more humble robe when they are traveling home to Nigeria. There was a time I went to Nigeria personally, and all I did was to bring the area boys together. We bought Izovioko. You understand? We identified some areas around the neighborhood when it is grass full everywhere. One of us carry cutlass, we clear the grass, we happy together, we journey together and all of that. And since then, these guys, they have continued with that tradition to know, man, we are not going to wait for the government to come and clear our own gutter for us. We'll do it ourselves and all of that. And I'm still talking to them and stuff like that. And so we can actually inspire a lot from followership to leadership. So there's a lot that the Edo community can actually do.
Thank you very much, comrade. One of our viewers have said our YouTube mic is off. If you can quickly just sort that one out. There's a lot that the Edo diaspora can do Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira, Lamte has said a lot. Comrade Lamte has said a lot. I know, pharmacists, that you are in the diaspora Edo at 30 working group. This is an amalgamation of different Edo sons and daughters from Africa, from Nigeria, parts of Nigeria, and everywhere in the world, across the 5 continents. I know you are in that group. So what actually is happening at that level? I want you to just talk to our people so that they know what is to come. I will give some information later myself because I'm also part of this.
We have the Edo State Working Group for the celebration of the Edo at 30. I happen to be functioning as the in-house secretary of that committee. Since we got on working some 4 weeks ago, a lot of preparations and plans are already in place. We were just waiting for the Edo State government to formally release the logo and the hashtag for the celebration. That has been done. And for those of us that have been following us, you would agree with me that the social media has been agog and awash with different information coming from this working group. We have our hashtag already, and there are various committees that have been set up that are working relentlessly across all continents of the world. And like you said, we are well represented in all continents of the world. Membership span from Japan to Australia, to Germany, to United Kingdom, to America, to even Burkina Faso and Mali. And there are so many people, even diaspora, that are internal diasporans in Nigeria, that are part of this program. Part of it also, we have the academic committee, who they are running an award for different sector and scale of people, essay writing competition. And I think the topic is, what is good about Edo State? There is us, and is in different age category as well, with award and prizes to be given on the designated day. The event for the celebration starts in Edo State from the 20th of August and is running to the 29th of August. 27th is the actual day that the state was created, and August the 28th has been set aside as a special diaspora Edo Day. And our leader at the moment, Dr. Loretta Ogboro-Oko, is working relentlessly as well with all his team of formidable people across these various countries and across the world to see that we showcase Edo. We have also agreed that everybody should begin to display their native attire as a way of telling people that yes, something is happening, something great is happening in the heartbeat of the nation. I also know that there's also another segment of an award where we have agreed and said that anybody that can think of any problem that we currently have in Edo State, you identify the problem and you give a very genuine solution of how this will be resolved, you are also going to get an award. There is also a plan to celebrate all Edo sons and daughters, especially those who have excelled in different fields of endeavor. Let us celebrate them. Let us showcase them to the world. So the event is full of lots of activities. It's a very, very full package that will be unleashed to the world from 20th of August to the 27th or 28th. And I appeal to all Edolites, wherever you are. If you've not joined, please ask questions. We are well represented in almost every continent, if not every country of the world. Ask questions so that you can join this bandwagon of success. And we are not stopping there. This is just setting the pedestal for greater things. In fact, I think the website, the link of the website will soon be released to everybody, is celebrating Edo at 30 plus, which means it is going forward. We are going to set a barometer, and we are going to be a good example to the remaining 35 states of the Federation to learn from us. So it is absolutely massive. The event is massive. I was telling somebody last week that the way the diaspora is even celebrating it, those in Edo State have not woken up as well. They are like, it's like they are behind. because we have the technology, we have the wherewithal. Above all, we have the commitment of every Edo person to see that Edo State is placed again in the map and it takes its rightful position. Because you would agree with me, we are well endowed. That endowment must not remain in-house. It has to close up for people to see it.
Indeed, we are well endowed. I like that clincher that you have put at the end of your powerful deposition, pharmacist Agboje Austin Iremira. We are well endowed. Comrade Lamte Pamosa, the pharmacists have said a lot. So, and we, in terms of concluding this particular segment of our program today, what is it you want to say? Because I know that you are also one of the henchmen as far as the Diaspora Edo at 30 celebration is concerned. What do you have to chip in from all that has been going on behind the scene and on the social media boards? We've seen the hashtag, a lot of Edos, showing off their Edo attire, men and women, it's been a real buzz in the last few days. What do you have to say, sir?
Yeah, to be honest, I can tell you, bro, that I am humbled personally, by the effort and commitment of Edo people in the diaspora. From Edo North to Edo South and Edo Central, everybody, has been working around the clock. Like, Tony said, almost in every country of the world, there are Edo people represented. Okay, and it's instructive, the level of commitment, the willingness, even at odd hours, people are making contributions. Talk of the website committee, the outreach committee, the different committees set up, and all of that. So hopefully we're going to have a blast across the world on the said day, on the 28th, that is dedicated to the diaspora. I believe that the world is going to know that there's a state called Edo State in Nigeria, definitely, because the boost has started. And another beautiful thing again is that it's exactly what I talked about earlier, and that we must harness the diaspora to be united under one leadership. Okay, and that is what the example that we are setting with this particular forum is united under one leadership. People have called me, they want to come and invest in Nigeria, in Edo State. They want me to link them up with the governor. They want me to do this, and I said, man, look, be patient. The government is planning to have a diaspora agency or a diaspora commission, as the case may be. When the commission is set up, whatever you want to do, channel it through this commission. It's essential so that we don't have any form of fragmentation. You understand what I'm saying now? And I'm sure it's exactly what His Excellency Ambassador Matthew Biki alluded to earlier when we had a Zoom meeting. So it's important that everybody in the diaspora who wants to key into this should locate this particular team. We have more than 90 Edo people in the diaspora, representing various entities, associations, groups, clubs, individuals themselves, and all of that. Apparently we have the entire world under this particular arrangement. And like Austin said, we are even moving at a faster and more impactful, pace than even the Edo State, itself, and all of that. So we hope that everybody will be on board. We are glad, we are excited, and importantly, I will insist that from this Edo diaspora at 30 down to every other thing that we shall be doing from the diaspora, let us be united under one umbrella, under one leadership. That way, without fragmentation, things definitely will get better for all of us. I think that is the way I look at it, my brother.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. I just want to, before we close the show today, Oscar Igbinovia, he said, Edo first, God bless Edo State. Thank you, my brother Oscar, and thank you for making us to know that the YouTube mic was off. Moses Edopolo, this is a bit comical. He said, I'm representing myself, my brother. That's a good one there. Hope Aloha Utame he said, good evening, everyone. Moses Aka said, great Edo people, great Benin. Thank you so much. Patience Irabo, one of our regular viewer on this show, she said, thank you, Austin. You have said a lot concerning where we are and where we are going. My belief is that our mindset as a people should be upgraded. Ebenome Godwin, one of my mentors in the Royal Ambassadors those days, he said, West Side Pharmacist Austin and Hansen. This one is a rhetorical question. He said, changing in what way? So these are diverse opinions that people are just giving. And I'm sure the comrade will have some comments from the YouTube section when he's wrapping up this show today. But all in all, what I have to say is that, and it's what I said at the beginning of this program today, we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate life. I'm an apostle of the celebration of life. And somebody, one of our brother from Australia, did say today in the diaspora's celebration meeting with Inspiration 92.3 FM, he said, it's not all about, sending money home for burial, sending money home for weddings. So we need to celebrate, life, in a way that we really of value to our people. So we need to celebrate. We need to, thank God for our state and all that we have been able to do. Like I said, the state, Edo State, is still a work in progress. We are moving and we are getting there. So thank you all very much for all your contributions, all our viewers. Thank you so much. Pharmacist Austin, thank you. I will hand the baton back now to Comrade Lamptey to wrap up the program.
Yes, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbanse, I want to say a very big thank you to you, my brother. You've done justice to this topic. Of course, I want to say a big thank you to our colleague Musketeer, talking of Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremiran. Austin, I don't know if you have some last word to just put through before we finally call it a day, at least for this segment. Austin, please.
Thank you so much, my brothers. I want to start with Dr. Tony Agbonsedaife to say thank you so much for anchoring this program. You've done noble. I know where we are coming from. I know you have been seated in the saddle for the last few hours. We decided that the show must go on. And only a few minutes ago, the anchoring was handed over to you. Amen. In your usual self, you did justice to it. God bless you for your service to Edo State and to your people. Comrade Lamptey, what do I have to say? I know you very well. I can see that you are visibly tired, but you said the show must go on. You've been sitting and anchoring all the program for all that you do for our state and for Nigeria and for humanity. May God bless you. To our people, I want to say thank you for joining us. It's been great. It's been massive. My message to Edo State, especially for the youth, I would like sports to come back. Just as I'm expecting the governor to announce his cabinet, I want to appeal to him to bring a very dynamic youth into the Ministry of Sports and Information, Arts and Culture. I want to see Governor's Cup and Principal Cup come back again to Great Edo. It is very important. That's what we are known for. To our people, I say thank you so much for listening to us. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your comment. It's been the Sunday tonic. May God bless you all and have a very fabulous week.
Thank you very much, my brother Austin Iremiran, for that. You just made a statement now that I want to follow up a bit on, just an information. But we are aware from information reaching us that the committee that the governor of Edo State referred
nominees,
members of his cabinet, he gave them 15 days, to do their job and submit a report. And so we can understand that they have submitted their report to the governor. If I'm not mistaken, about 800 names, if I'm not mistaken. But those details right now, they are not important. The important thing is that now that they've concluded their job, it's the expectation of Edo people across the world that the governor will name his cabinet. It's overdue, and we hope that this time, we are not going to expect it too long, so that the state can actually be running in full swing. And so, fingers crossed. Let us hope that we are just around, the moment where these nominees, the cabinet of the governor will be announced. Anyhow, we stay on top of that. Whatever information we have, be assured that we are going to be, sharing those information right on this particular, platform. Having said that, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who's been with us on Facebook and on YouTube and all of that. And hopefully, by the grace of God, we'll be right here again on Sunday next week. This program is the Comrade and Friends, nicknamed the Sunday Tonic, by my brother, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira. 5 p.m. on Sunday, Nigeria time, we're going to be here again. Hopefully, we're going to have a special guest that will be letting us into his own world and a lot that has to do with Edo State and Nigeria. My name is Comrade Lamte Ikponwosa Oriahi. By the grace of God, a proud citizen of the United Kingdom of Great Benin. Thank you for being with us. God bless you, and bye for now.
Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lamte